Hi, this is math for real, people. What I'm going to show you today is how to solve for a variable when something's happening to it. And in this case, we're going to talk about something dividing the variable. So you want the variable by itself? So let's look at something like this. Let's say we started with x over 2 equals 4. So hopefully right now you know the answer to this. Now remember, this is saying something, we don't know what, divided by 2 is going to equal 4. So we need to know how to do it with easy problems so that we can do it with harder problems. So let's go ahead and write out our steps again. So the first step is to say what's happening to my variable. Now I already told you, in this case we already know, but that's always our first step. So what is happening? Now of course we're only talking about our variable, and we know it's being divided by something. So what is the opposite of division? How can we undivide it? The opposite of dividing it would be, yeah, that's right, multiplication. So we need to multiply this by 2. Now you can put 2 over 1 if you would like. It doesn't matter. I like to leave that off sometimes. The reason you did this was for it to cancel out. Now that turns into 2 over 2 times x. What is 2 over 2? Anything over itself is just 1. That's why we did it. They're going to cancel out and turn into 1s, and you're going to be left with x over here, or 1x. Doesn't matter if you put the 1 in front or not. So we did the opposite in order for it to cancel out. Now remember, you can't just leave it like this and say x equals 4. That doesn't make any sense. The equal sign was set there. It was like a balance. So remember, it's like a balance. If you add something, you have to add it to the other side. If you subtract it, you subtract it from the other side. As long as they're equal, it doesn't matter. So we say, well, we multiplied this by 2, so we need to do the same thing to the other side. So we multiply the other side by 2. And we get x is equal to 8. So now we can look at that and say, all right, so if I plug this in, is 8 divided by 2 going to equal 4? Yes, it checks out. Of course it does. Of course it does, because I just showed you, right? But for real, let's go through this one more time without as much talking. You're going to look at the problem that started out in green, and you see something divided by 2 equals 4. You think to yourself, what is happening to the variable on the same side of the equal sign as the variable? It's being divided by something. Your step 2, do the opposite. You multiplied by 2, so it canceled out. Step 3, do the same thing to the other side. And you are done. Bam! You have your answer. You can always plug it back in to check. Now let's talk about something that's real world in this situation. Let's say you are working with 2 other friends and you're in a lawn service with 2 other friends. So there's 3 of you. You need to make sure that you each make $150. So you each need to make $150 this week because you owe money to someone. You are in big trouble. So you don't know how much you need total yet, but you know you're going to divide it by 3 people. You're splitting it by 3 of you equally from doing this lawn service so that you can get out of trouble. And you look at it and you say, okay, well, we don't know our total amount. We know we're going to have to divide it by 3. We each have to be able to have $150. So you say, what's happening? It's being divided by, you know that because you just set up the problem. Then you do the opposite. So you're going to multiply by 3. Those turn into 1s. Do the same thing to the other side, multiply by 3. So you need a total of $450 for your lawn service for the week so that you're not in trouble. Okay, so that was solving for a variable when it was being divided by something. Thank you.